Hello everyone, this video is going on my second channel. Even forgot what the name of the channel is. It's a Bible verse, it's John something. The Bible verse that says, when Jesus says, "I am the light of the world, whoever follows me shall not walk in darkness." As I said before, I'm terrified about teaching others about religion. And in this video, I just want to briefly touch on why I'm an Orthodox Christian. And that's Eastern Orthodox. So in the Bible, Jesus says that no sign will be given except for the sign of Jonah, which is the resurrection of Christ, which is the event that totally transformed the world, totally changed the game about everything. And before, I didn't really have, I don't even know what my faith was before, like when I was really young. I think it was always really strong, sometimes believing things that weren't exactly aligned with what the Bible taught, but always there was this desire to get to truth, to correct it, and to learn more. After careful, really careful study and reflection, a lot of reflection on the issue, I became totally convinced that the resurrection event actually happened. There's no other explanation. When you look at the historical evidence and also the Shroud of Turin, it's irrefutable that that happened if we allow for miracles within our worldview. Never considered atheism, even though I've studied it, but it just, in my humble opinion, it's just a lot of emptiness, I think. Because there's nothing you can look forward to after death. And Orthodoxy to me is like a powerful relationship with Christ himself. Because the church, the historical church, is the closest way you can experience that, I think. Especially through the sacraments of the church, especially the Eucharist, confession, and baptism. So that's you can have a really powerful experience within the church. And I think that's something that I've had, especially how welcoming the church is to you, regardless of what your background is. It's there to heal people, to reconcile everyone to each other. And you really feel the power of the grace that comes from those sacraments when you receive them. Before you receive them, you're like, what is this? But then afterwards, it's like enough just to change your entire life around. I mean, you really feel God's presence there. Yeah, I'm terrified of teaching others about religion. But the thing is, there seem to be so few people actually talking about the subjects I want to talk about, that I want people to know about. I think one of the biggest problems in America is not knowing what the Orthodox Church is, or even if it exists. So that's a huge issue, that evangelism with Orthodoxy could just be like, this church exists, that's the end. Because right now, people don't even see it as an option. So eventually I want to get a evangelism group started, where we sort of like a street evangelization. It's better. Thing is, doing something, it's usually better than doing nothing. That's like a direct command, I think. Hymns of the church are just the most powerful expression of something beyond this world that I've ever seen. There's lots of hymns. A lot of them are just recitations of the Psalms, for example. Like, blessed is the man who looks not in the counsel of the wicked. And then it goes, for the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. And you look at the church, you realize that regardless of what you happen to get there, it's always good to be in the church. God is always calling you to be in the church, no matter like what sin you committed or something like that. It's always trying to bring people into the light and out of the darkness. That's the best thing about confession. With Orthodoxy, there's a high emphasis on the communion of the saints and them all coming together as like a family. So that's one thing that draws me to Orthodoxy, why we call the Mother of God Theotokos. We honor her, and we say with, in truth, Mother of God, save us. Because her job is to bring us closer to Jesus, which saves us. So a lot of people misunderstand these things, but you have to experience them. It's really, Christianity is an experience and it's a celebration. That's what it is. It's also suffering, but it's suffering in love and joy, I think. According to what I know and what I've experienced. When you look at the world today, you realize that it's those who seek God that will find him, really. A lot of people, like at least a big chunk of the world, is not seeking God at all, which is clear because of the just wide, not to judge individuals, but the wide advancement of things that contradict basic morality in the world, and how people are just easily swayed by things like Islam, which is a totally false religion, which has enslaved the minds of lots of people, because the thing is, they don't let you question it. There's, in many parts of the world, you'd get killed for leaving it, which is why Orthodoxy was so suppressed for so long, because Islam just swept through and decided to, well, the people who had that religion based on those principles just tried to conquer everyone, all the Christian people they came across. And they ended up conquering Alexandria, I think, and Constantinople. So those are great Christian sees. Actually, all 4 of the main patriarchs, except for Rome, Jerusalem included. So many things I can't put to words, just the concept of forgiveness of sins, how powerful that experience is. And it's something tangible. It's not something it's hard to describe. Like the YouTube channel, The Orthodox Lunatic, said when he went to confession for the first time, he felt this power, like this grace come over him that was unlike anything he'd ever felt. Yeah. And what is so beautiful about the church is how welcoming it is of all people. And it's not going to condone your sin, but it's going to guide you towards the right path. The thing about the Orthodox faith is it's simple in a lot of ways, and it's also very shrouded in a lot of theological mystery, which is why why the sacraments are so special, is because they're mystery. They seem like contradictions, but in accepting the contradiction, you're really accepting a mystery which is beyond human comprehension. So I've been Orthodox for about 2 years. More than that, if you count how long I've been convinced of it. What I recommend to everyone is just to go to an Orthodox church, go to liturgy once, and if you want to, go back. If you don't, you don't have to, but it's an experience that may change your life. It's something that you have to experience first before you know anything about it. If you don't know anything about it, you're not going to have that experience. It's the faith, really an encounter with God that brings you to faith. Really, it's not really something I'd say that people do. It's something that God works with and takes your flaws, makes them into something very beautiful. The Bible does say that things get really bad before the end of the world. For example, there's supposed to be a apostasy where almost everyone abandons the true church. But in the end, God will, all of his promises will be fulfilled. That's what's been happening like throughout my life. Everything that the church has taught has been vindicated in my life in one way or the other. Like not sure if that's going to be correct, but then, oh, vindication right there. Like you aren't sure about confession being part of the early church, and then you receive the sacrament and, oh my gosh, this is something beautiful. And then also, it's also in the writings of the church fathers, but this stuff I've been saying so far, it's been hard to describe, but hopefully, even though I'm flawed at explaining things, someone will get the message out there about what I'm talking about. And this video has been part of my walking journey series, where I'm walking to from the total distance, not the actual path, but the total distance from Washington, D.C. to South Africa. And that's going to take a long time, but I'm on my journey. It's like everyone is with regard to finding truth. They're all just trying to sift through all of this mess of religions and experiences and find out which one to believe in. But I think the truth is that whatever makes you love God more is actually the truth. Do not accept anything as beauty if it isn't true. And do not accept anything as truth that lacks beauty is the rule here. Like, the whole gospel, it's a beautiful message, I think. It's why when someone receives the sacrament of confession, they confess in front of a copy of the Gospels and a cross. So, yeah, just doing some more walking. And the thing is, there's so much depth to the Orthodox faith. There's so much more you can learn about it the more you experience it. That's what I love about it. That it's an experience. It's not just reading or just saying something once and then that's the end. No, it's a journey that encompasses your entire life, and the presence of God will be made more manifest to you the more you seek him. And that's the message I want to leave with everyone today, that the more you seek God and the more you seek truth, the more you will get closer to it, because the truth is a person. Thanks for watching.